It's more or less any. Yeah.
Wow.
Wanted to say more or less any move, but b3.
B3.
No. G6, knight f6, g3, and well, I'm afraid we will not get a really exciting position out of those Fanchetas.
Well, I was not really expecting anything. I mean, it's Artemyev's trademark not to rush things, just play chess. And as Magnus also said in an interview that when they asked him about Artemyev, that Artemyev seems to have a very, very healthy, good feeling for chess, and that's why he excels in rapid and blitz play.
Yeah, that's what you need, right? When you don't have time to calculate, when you don't have, say, time to come up with any kind of preparation, you really have to feel where to put the pieces, like kind of natural talent for.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in order to do so, you have to avoid those heavily debated theoretical lines, because they're...
Which is much easier to do with white. Yeah?
Exactly.
Oops, knight to e8.
It's
Just to
the
prepare
typical-
f5, I think.
No, it's
No?
knight c7. I mean, just to prepare knight c7.
Really?
So if white goes knight d5, you exchange with knight c7.
But knight was on f6, why don't you...
Yeah, because usually white plays e3 and then knight d2. And knight d2
Goes
is
knight
played
d2?
anyway,
Ah,
knight
so
c7.
knight goes
yeah.
to c7, maybe also to support b5 if
Yeah, rook
possible.
b8, a3 is played, a5.
a5.
This is the game I was waiting for, you know, and let's see how it ends.
Yeah, right. So more or less equal on the clock. No preparation this time. I mean, no advantage on the clock this time. It's like Swidler against Carlsen, for instance. He had at some point almost a minute.
You remember the first day in the rapid section, Artemyev started with 3 out of 3 and then lost 2 games in a row with white, when both times he went e4. And
Which is suspicious move, it seems.
Exactly, and you know, I met him in that evening and I told him, but Vladislav, why did you play e4? If you don't play e4, I don't think anyone can beat you. And he looked at me surprised, because he said he actually got a good position in both games, but then he didn't play any more e4 in the tournament and he shared second place.
Right. So it's not about getting, say, good positions. No, I mean, it's only partly a joke, because in blitz, what matters that you know what you're doing.
Exactly, you feel the position and you feel comfortable with.
Okay, bishop to e6. Well, Magnus was first to push the b pawn, right? And now, yeah, I would say this tension on the queen side, it's kind of, he's the active side, right? So he can consider going a5, a4.
Yeah, that's what compensates him for the d5 square, yeah? Because, okay, white has access to the d5 square, black doesn't have, but he got at least the time to push b5, and that compensates.
Rook a to e1. Ah, well, preparing f4 maybe.
Yeah, now f5.
f5. Well, and you know what, especially after f5 I want to play f4. But then black takes on c4.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And now you have to take dc, otherwise exchange sacrifice might come. Or is that a problem?
DC, but then, wait, then e4 and white, I mean, black should be much better. I mean, those structures, I mean, unless you have some crazy sacrifices on e4, but...
No,
I mean,
now probably you have to return knight c3. Maybe this
knight
is a very
c3, maybe
important
to keep
move.
maybe to keep the knight, yeah.
And then if you are in time to regroup with rook b1, rook fd1, then everything should be fine.
Yeah, but
no?
still, but the bishop on g2 is kind of passive, right? Black, all of a sudden, black gets very serious play.
No, if you would exchange the knight from d5 on c7, then black is maybe just clearly better. But
Yeah, knight c7, queen c7, yeah?
Knight
c3,
played,
bravo.
yeah. Very important, yeah.
Okay, at some point he actually might get a chance to simply block the queen side with a4 knight b5. I mean, I'm not sure if it's like a great idea, but...
Yeah, but I just want to go rook b1, rook fd1. That would stop any kind of d6, d5 breaks, and then what
Okay, let's see where Magnus is going. Knight to e8, back to f6. So interesting, knight went from f6 to e8 to c7, done its job, but then it returns home.
Yeah, but okay, this case white seems to have time to stabilize. Wow, g4.
He's not planning to stabilize.
Yeah, he feels that he's stabilized enough.
He's stable enough, yeah.
Yeah.
So now we go to f6, we go g5, we go to e8 and to c7.
Yeah.
How
And look
about
at
that?
this, maybe g4, g5 is a huge positional threat, because then I get the long diagonal
h6,
h6 in order to stop
okay.
g5. Correct.
And yeah, now
Now white
it's
is in.
it's very tense because g4 looks like a good move, right? And then you have a threatening g5, but you don't really want to take on f5.
Yeah, but now time is a factor. Artemiev is down to 27 seconds versus 140. I mean, time is a huge issue. Look at this. 20 seconds versus more than 1.5.
But yeah, but it feels like, I mean, black has more space, so he will be the one using the g5.
And he
Knight
goes
takes
for the
e4. He
sacrifice.
goes for a sacrifice.
Wow, but what is this?
Well, in practical terms, I mean, it's blitz, Peter. It's blitz. Don't try to say, yeah. I mean, it should be good for black. We have to agree. Yeah, it should be good for black. But white has some threats.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it didn't feel like there was any need for this.
And he will play like nothing happened. Knight g3, some jumping. I'm sure the game is not over.
Yeah, but knight f5.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, usually
I
you
will not-
sacrifice the piece if you have 140 on your clock and your opponent 20 seconds. But
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, this feels just wrong.
Seconds left for Artemiev. Yeah, I think Magnus. Well, e4. What do we do with
Okay,
the bishop now?
h7. Or maybe I need that square
Yeah,
for
bishop
the
h7.
king.
No, he'll put the king on h8, I guess.
King J.
g8.
E5. Okay, all of a sudden,
Okay.
this is now sharp.
What I told you,
This
the
is
game
not
is not
sharp.
over. Yeah, it really depends if you can or cannot take on e5. He thinks that he can. Pawn takes.
Well, okay, knight goes to g7.
Knight to g7, king to h8. This
Yeah.
way he's holding. But anyway, pawn is on e6.
Yeah.
The knight on g7 is
and
pretty
maybe
awkward.
some rook f7, rook
Some
f7,
rook f7s
e7.
are there. Okay, queen e7.
Stability. Rook
Now has to
f7,
go rook f7. Yes, takes, takes.
Takes.
But how do you get rid of this pawn from f7?
Yeah.
It's actually
this is-
white achieved quite a lot.
And Artemiev down to 7 seconds.
Okay, rook f8, bishop g6, king h7. This is how you are crawling out of the corner. Queen g5,
King h1. Now
King
rook
to
g1 is a
h1.
threat. Be careful.
bishop
g6,
g6,
rook
queen
g1.
to f5. Okay.
Wow. King h7.
Attacks the h6 pawn, king h7, and then he's gonna go queen e.
No, then rook takes g6. No, then queen takes g6. Whew,
Wow.
just in time.
Rook is queen e7, but then rook f7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rook f7, bishop f7, check on f3. And is there a win?
Well, bishop e4 blunders to bishop g8 and checkmate.
Yeah.
So you have to probably
You have to take the
on-
bishop or what?
Yeah, you have to.
I mean, you have the perpetual with black. That's clear. Like check on
Yeah.
f1, check on f3. Right? Yes, he takes the, and then h4. Once again, black has to be. I believe black has to be winning in sort of a classical game. But we are not talking classical game. And actually, Artemiev, while being on 5 seconds, he controls the time. And Magnus already spent quite a few minutes here. Check. Will he settle for
And
a
the
draw?
point is that h4, h5 is always a threat if the black queen leaves the. So maybe h5. No, queen
Check.
f4 check. Maybe just to play h5 in order to stop any kind of
h5,
h4,
yeah,
h5s.
but then imagine I go queen g5 and now you can't even exchange
Yeah.
the queens because in the end game, white might be better. What, he didn't press the clock,
yeah,
it
he
felt
didn't
like.
press the clock. Yeah.
Bishop f5,
Maybe he has to play some rook g3
rook
Yeah.
g3,
played.
okay.
Bishop
Magnus
e4 runs
is clear.
into rook
Bishop
g7,
g4,
bishop g4,
rook g2, h5.
Yeah, this
okay,
is-
this way he stabilizes. Queen g5, but now how do you win? Check, knight e6.
Step
okay,
by
knight is
step.
kind.
You win step by
Queen
step.
d4, I'm not sure at all. Not sure at all.
Maybe rook b2 and then b4.
Rook b2 and b4, get rid of the pawns, yes.
Yeah.
As many pawns as you can. You have bishop d1. Okay, it feels. Does
Will
he
he
keep?
go
Oh
a4?
wow! I mean, if it
Wow,
works,
but-
it's really incredible. I mean, if
Yeah.
it works, but how do you do this on with seconds on the clock?
Bishop
b3.
b3.
And who is winning now? b6. Wait a sec. Bishop c4 and then knight. Okay. Once again,
And
it
what
should
is
be
happening? Yeah.
should be winning, I believe.
Yeah.
Black should be. No, wait. He'll block the a-pawn with the king.
Exactly.
He'll block the a-pawn with the king and then free the rook. And who is winning? Okay, I mean, white cannot win this, but...
But can black win, yeah?
No, I don't think black can win. Wait, you take the h5 pawn. Rook g5. Rook g5, take the h5
Okay,
pawn.
4-3.
What? Ah, you can't
You can't,
move
yeah.
you can't move the bishop.
Draw,
Yeah, it's a draw.
wow.
What a game. What
Wow,
a game.
What a brilliant save by
Brilliant save by
Artemiev.
Artemiev. Started with absolutely unsound piece sacrifice, but yeah, created a
He
counterplay.
played the last 25 moves on seconds.